Said it wrong way. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Devote 101. I am Nathaniel Donaldson, and we're going to do our best not to interrupt each other and talk about what God has done for us. So, I have with me, let's see here, a good, talented man of God here. Like, legit, I'm not trying to, praise this dude, but if you've heard this dude play some drums,
No, man.
You would probably faint. Chapman Nelson is his name. I didn't actually say his name yet, but thank you for being here, Chapman.
Oh, dude, it's an honor.
For those who don't know, Chapman is actually my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I guess you could call
sort
it
of.
that, yeah.
Sort of. You're not my actual brother-in-law. Justin is my brother-in-law.
Right.
You're his brother.
Yeah.
So we're family. That's how it matters. I mean, we're family anyway. But no, I'm super excited to have you here. But let's try this again. I'm messing everything up.
How you gonna do?
No, but I'm super excited to have you here, and it's awesome. So the topic I was wanting to discuss with you was using our talents for the Lord.
Right.
Now, this thing, I guess it can be very controversial, which I guess is why we're attacking this. I mean, or not attacking this, we're just going to discuss this. But, so, we all have talents in various ways, and we all like to use them. You know, really like to show people what we can do. Like, for instance, you can play the drums. I know you'd like people to hear it.
I mean,
and you know, there's many ways to use our talents to promote those talents. You know, most popular way is through social media, which I think that's
right.
really the only way you can get people to find it that don't know you.
Right. These days, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main. That is the main. What is it? What's the source to go after that kind of stuff, and but all that's good to promote it, to show people your skills. That's all good. Nothing's necessarily wrong with that. But the question is, like, how are we using our gifts for God? That's the main question here. And I have a verse. I'm gonna read that real quick. I actually got to pull it up. So it's James 1:17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Now, the very first part of that verse is what I like to, address on more. We don't need to forget where our talents come from. And, if you do, I mean, this is a very difficult thing to discuss here. I mean, do you agree with what I'm saying here? I mean,
well, what do you mean? Like,
okay, because
I'm sure I do.
you sure you do.
I'm sure I do.
But no, like the main point I'm trying to make here is that we don't need to forget where our gifts come from and using it for God. Don't you agree?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Your talent is God's gift to you, and when you're able to give it back in return to Him, that's like you giving it completely back to Him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the way it should be.
Yeah. This is just a few examples that I've had here. If we do forget, and not necessarily like, I don't know, just I guess just really just abusing your gift and the if you just really take it for granted and you're just abusing it to the point to where, matter of fact, what I'm saying is I'll give you an example here for me personally. I didn't always take me singing seriously, and I'm not saying that I can sing like fantastically, but I do believe God gave me some sort of a gift to be able to sing, and I'm very honored to be able to do that for Him. But you can't forget that was God's gift to. I didn't need to forget that that was God's gift to me.
Right.
And what I did was there was one day we were going to sing. This was a while back, and this is kind of scary. And ever since then, I've been very humbled by this. But a long time ago, maybe a couple years ago or something like that, I was going to sing in big church with a few people. It was a little ensemble on Wednesday night. So no big deal, right? Didn't want to take this too seriously. And so I didn't. Matter of fact, I pretty much acted like a sinful person that whole day before church. And we practiced, or I got to practice, sang the songs a little bit. I'm like, voice is warming up. So we practiced. Could not sing worth a lick. Matter of fact, I'm sure people have heard my voice crack. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It happens all the time. It's very natural.
It's
but
life, yeah.
the whole song crack. Matter of fact, it was just like I couldn't even be able to I don't know, let it out. And I was very frustrated by that. And then we got done with practice, and I was just kind of like, I can't sing right now. Drank a bunch of water. That part wasn't good for me because drinking cold water actually hurts your throat,
right,
from what I've learned. And actually, I can feel it too. But so we went to prayer. We went to pray in the prayer room.
Right.
And that's when I started asking God, okay, God, I can't sing right now. Give me my voice back.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for being a sinful person, but it wasn't. I wasn't doing that so I could portray an atmosphere or open up a worship atmosphere in the church, because that's what the whole point of the music thing is.
Right.
And I wanted it just so I could sing. That's what I was asking God to do for me. Help me be able to sing so I can hit these notes right. And it wasn't in my heart. It was just, that's what my flesh wanted. My flesh wanted to hit the notes and just sound good.
Yep. I know what you mean.
Still didn't sound good during service, and I was so flustered by that. Anyway, after church, I got in my car, and I was like, I don't know why I couldn't sing. And then I tried to sing. I could sing again. It's like I had my voice. It's like I got my voice back. And I was like, ever since then, I have been so scared to not be so, I don't know, arrogant about my voice. So if I get done singing and someone said, you sang good tonight, you did really great, I don't want to be like, oh, thank you.
Right. That's a difficult thing to answer too.
It's hard. Yeah. I'm not okay. I very much appreciate the compliments. I do.
Absolutely.
But I hate getting them because I don't
you
want
realize
to be
where it comes from. Exactly.
Yes. I don't want to get prideful about it.
Right.
So I appreciate the compliments, but ultimately I don't want the compliments because I don't want my pride to get the best of me.
Exactly.
And I feel like we could give examples here if you had an experience like that. Did you ever?
Well, mine's kind of different. God deals with people in different ways, obviously. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There for a while, it was in my earlier teenage years, so it's been a while. I was heavy into actual screamo music and playing drums to that, just because that's very drum heavy songs. And I was 13 or 14, and I was an idiot. So this is a crazy story actually. So I was in the barn, which is I have pretty much my little studio recording.
So he's got a nice setup.
It's decent. But so I was playing screamo music, and it wasn't late at night, but it was dark. It was dark outside, and I didn't really care. I had some lights on, I had an iPad light and stuff like that, just kind of beaming onto the drums to look like a concert, just
so
little imagination.
You were having those little imaginations,
right? And dude, I'm not kidding when I say my seat fell. So this is very humorous, right? But this was a life-changing moment for me. My seat fell to the ground, and I fell off the kit. And when I did, the whole kit fell to pieces. And not broke, but but different pieces apart that should not have come off came off. It's so on the cymbals, you have a little cymbal, I don't even know what it's called, but you have a felt, and then you screw it on pretty much. Mm-hmm. And
because most of the stuff you screw together.
Exactly. And it pretty much all came apart. And so I it hit me, and it was more of a guilt thing. It was
that's scary.
You see how quick it can fall apart. And that's all I could think about, bro. I didn't even pick up anything. I went inside and I prayed. I was like, God, I'm so sorry. It wasn't it's not screamo music, devil worshiping music, but it was heavy music.
That stuff is from the devil.
Though, well, yeah, it's very aggressive, and it was affecting me overall, And music does that. But I can think of a few more examples.
God, I got a little tear in my eye whenever you said that, dude.
It's
That's
gnarly.
scary how God will just kind of like make that stuff happen to make you realize that, you know, these talents that you have is not something to just abuse, and that's a tough thing because you know there's plenty of people that I have seen. We discussed this before. We were like, save it for the podcast.
Pre-discussion.
This is kind of a tough thing to touch because it's kind of like if you abuse it, you could lose it. Wow, that rhymes. But anyway, so like what I'm saying is like we have an anointing. We've been touched by God.
Right.
I believe that firmly. And you know, and when we abuse our talents that He's given us, He can easily take those things away. That's why I'm so cautious about being arrogant about it.
Right.
Matter of fact,
Absolutely.
I do my best not to be arrogant about it.
Yeah.
But what boggles my mind is people that, you know, clearly do not have a touch. Matter of fact, maybe I not even like talk to God or even know who He is or really have any sort of relationship, and they have all this talent. It's a tough thing.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. There's people like that in church too. Not in our church at all. But I've
The church,
playing,
like
oh yeah, like playing out. I've met some people with some pretty raunchy attitudes, and of course I'm not gonna call any names or anything like that.
First and last name.
Yeah. Middle name, Social Security. It was. I'm not gonna say it was recently, but it was a while back. I played with some people that they were just very firm in what they wanted, and they had a very strong way of going at that. So, but I don't know. Like I've experienced some very hot-headed people, and it's crazy because like I'm not gonna say they're not anointed because like I play with them, and it's different from like when you're playing versus when you can tell like you're out like in the congregation or in the crowd, whatever, and you can hear what they're doing and like how it's all synchronized. You can feel that.
Yeah.
But when you're playing, it's like it's coming through you, so you can't really. I'm not gonna lie. Like at camp meeting, I was playing some gospel song, and I was doing things that I knew, like me personally, I did not know, like fills and like licks and like locking in with the bass player. Like there was just different stuff that I've never done it like that before.
Yeah.
And I've never prayed as hard over a certain. And that's another thing too is like I want to go ahead and put this in right here. One stage is not bigger than the next.
No, absolutely not. No.
Like
you
should pray.
You don't need to treat it like it's.
If you're praying extra hard because you're playing for like a UPC camp meeting, or like say you're singing for NAYC and you pray extra hard like that, way more than you do before a Sunday morning or a Wednesday night service. That's a problem. That's a head issue, because then that platform is going to affect your head.
That's your flesh.
Exactly.
More than anything.
That's all flesh.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to not let get to you. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if you, I personally don't want to do this. Like, if I ever sang for Allstate, and they asked me to sing in a microphone, like in an ensemble, like for camp, I'd be so honored. But I would not want to treat that as important as singing here at our church on a Wednesday night or at our launch out services that we have in the gym. I don't like to treat those any differently, because it's like I'm coming. The whole point of us singing and the music and everything, Brother Stroud makes this very clear every time we go, before we go out there. We are setting an atmosphere of worship. We're not performing. That's not the deal here. And don't get me wrong, there's a reason we practice, and there's a reason that we try to hit the right notes, because those things are distractions, and that can mess things up. But if you, in the moment, like, if something does go wrong, you don't panic. You still worship God.
Right.
You still flow. Like, for instance, tonight, when I was singing that solo for whatever, Here Again.
Here Again.
I thought I jumped the gun when we started playing.
I don't know.
I really did. And I was like, what's going on here? But I was like, no, But Brother Brandon has told us, he's like, if something happens like that, don't look around like you're confused. Keep worshiping. That's not, the whole point is not to be perfect. The whole point is to bring God's presence in.
Right.
Allow it in. And open up that atmosphere of worship. And that's the main thing of getting on the platform. You don't need to treat it so lightly.
I will kind of just pause right there and say that doesn't mean practice isn't important.
Oh yes,
because I see it as this. So I spend hours before pretty much any service learning the songs and like trying to understand what the song does, either on drums or whatever in general, and then we can do whatever we want to it. You know what I mean? Take it, do the chorus again, run the bridge 8 more times, whatever. But you know that can happen. But man, that's like, to me, this is my ministry. This is what God's given me, and I know it, and hopefully other people can see it.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not practicing your songs, not learning your songs. That's pretty much the equivalent of writing a message and never studying it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I mean, it's equally as.
I mean,
I hate to say it's equally as important. You get into that weird gray area there,
Yeah.
but it is very important to a.
Sorry, I threw something away.
It is very important to a service for sure.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming to church and it just being preaching, like just you walk in the door and it's preaching?
Yeah.
Because you come from a worldly, like from the world.
You need to ease in.
Right.
To ease in things.
Right. You need to enter into the throne room, and that's the whole point of pre-service prayer and fasting during the day, whatever you have to do. Because you need to come in, and even during practice, you're already into the throne room. You know what I mean?
Yes. Take that seriously.
Yeah.
I agree. Practice is most definitely essential. And that's what I didn't do that day whenever I said I lost my voice. I didn't take it seriously.
Because, I mean, he gave it to you. Why would you not hone it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm for real, though, like, ever since that day.
Oh, yeah.
I have practiced those songs a little way too much, because I have almost killed my voice practicing the songs. By the time I get to service or to practice, I can't even sing because I'm like, oh, my voice is worn out. But, the anointing comes over and the Lord provides. And
right.
God's going to do what he wants to do in those moments. That's going to happen regardless, no matter what happens. And so we don't need to think that we are the main key to making to bringing the atmosphere. No, we all have to be in sync. We all have to be. We're just a vessel.
Yeah.
We're not the provider here. We're not providing the Spirit. We're just a vessel. The Spirit is flowing through us out into the congregation.
Right.
That opens up that stuff.
And that's another reason practice is important. I hate to stress that point so much and sound like I'm a perfectionist. I'm really not. But practice is so important because, I mean, you get the song down, you leave so much room for worship and anointing. If you know where you're going, what we're doing, and all that, still have an open mindset. If we want to run that bridge 64 more times, we can.
Yeah.
But I really believe, like, you leave that room for anointing. So it's like, okay, you take care of, like, the preliminaries.
Yeah.
And then, like, the rest of it's God's. You know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, all of it's God's. I hate to say that, but God can, like, completely change a service that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool thing.
It's kind of like, we do our part and let God handle it the rest of the way. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah,
here?
pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And I agree with that 100%. I actually had a story. The examples of using our talents for the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you both have given 2 little tidbits on these things, but I talked about this a couple Sundays ago in Sunday school. You probably know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, this is a really cool story, actually.
This also
it's
makes
very relatable.
This also makes me very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I think about it. Okay, I don't know the guy's name. Not gonna name him anyway if I did know him. But I don't even know what church he played for. Do you have any idea?
I don't know.
He's a guitarist guy.
I have no idea.
He was it electric guitar?
I think it was bass. I'm pretty sure it was bass.
Well, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
He played the bass. Played for church, played up there on the platform all the time, all that kind of stuff. And so he got invited to come play at this event that was not godly. I think, as a matter of fact, it was ungodly.
I think it was pretty rank.
It's pretty raunchy place to be in. And he, goes there and plays. I'm pretty sure he felt something in his spirits, like maybe I shouldn't go, but maybe his performing side of him, I would like to say that, got the better of him. He's like, I want to show people what I can do.
Right.
We all think that, and there's nothing wrong with being like that, but you just can't. I don't know.
There is
abuse that.
It's all in your head. Honestly,
yes.
It's a head. It's where honestly your motives lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so basically, he goes to this event, and he goes to play. Cannot even play one note.
Yeah.
Like, it's like his fingers and his brain forgot how to play the bass. And, no, like, very embarrassing. Dude, I'm going to be honest, like, going up there and doing that, like, oh, yeah, you can play? Oh, yeah, can I play a bass? You know, I'm not saying he was like that, but
Yeah.
imagine how embarrassing that must be. People will have,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have a high,
Humiliating.
the reputation is set so high, the expectations are set so high, and then you play a -5.
Yeah.
And you coming back to church, and you're like, I don't even know if I can play anymore. I'm pretty sure he didn't go right back to the next service and play, because that probably would have.
It probably scarred him for a while, yeah.
That probably would have scarred him, but I mean, who knows? He may actually went right back.
Maybe,
But
I don't know.
as soon as he went back to church to play, he played so fluently, and I'm like, that's so scary. And that's literally just like the thing I was giving you about whenever I was saying. That's why I try. Matter of fact, I don't have to try. I just don't get arrogant about it, because I'm so scared of losing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine's more. I mean, I can't lie. You know, I've tried worldly music on drums, not just that one time.
Yeah.
You know, there's just some funky stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and not really, you know, like straight up playing some Lil Wayne on the drums. You know, that wouldn't even be fun to me anyway. But like, there's just
It's
like
kinda
some
weird.
funky stuff, like even some instrumental stuff.
Mhm.
But I'll feel guilty. I will like guilt myself, and that's just the type of person I am. I know that, but.
Yeah.
Dude, I will guilt myself out of it a lot, and like, wow, like you're on these different platforms, like you get these different opportunities, and you can't even hone your craft in for me, and like, dude, it
Yeah.
hits me, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, playing some funk apostles versus playing like Hillsong worship songs, one is way more fun than the other, and I mean to play.
Yeah.
But dude, sometimes I'll just sit back and I'll play a slow Hillsong song.
Yeah.
Hillsong song.
Slow. So what now?
A slow Hillsong like album, like a full album or
Yeah.
something, and it's just slow music. But dude, it like I've been in my little studio in the barn or whatever you want to call it, and I've played. I forget the name of the song. Flame of Fire, Rushing Wind, or something like that by Brian and Katie Torwalt,
Mm-hmm.
and we did it for Allstate like 2 years ago, I think, and we just used it as like a tag from another song, from Holy Ground by Passion.
Oh.
And it's just a really build up song, dude. I'm not even crying. I couldn't play because I was like weeping, and this was not long ago. This was probably like a month ago, and I just started weeping, dude. And it'll just do that sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And those moments are precious.
Oh,
like,
dude, I can't tell you how many times I will sing a song in my car. For instance, here, the last song that made me do that was Not Afraid.
yeah,
Dude, that song, I don't know what it is about it. It's just like it's so overcoming.
yeah,
And you know, it's like, when I'm in the water, I will not be drowned. When I'm in the fire, I will not feel the flame.
yeah.
And that thing is just so powerful.
That's
I literally cried and started speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
I was working, by the way, because when I deliver,
Mhm.
and when I drive in the car, I listen to music, that or a podcast, whatever. And then I was listening to that song. I started doing that at work, and that's my first time doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I've never actually spoken in tongues while on the job.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some good money made there.
Yeah.
But no, like that.
Money and memories.
Those moments are precious. That makes you just cherish your moments with God and
Oh,
just
yeah.
being in sync there. And, it's just amazing to think about that. But, I don't know, did you have anything else to say right there before I moved on?
No.
Okay. But, okay, but not all talents are just musical. We've been
Absolutely.
We've been talking about the music
I was actually
aspect.
about to bring that up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
There we
this
go.
is so awesome.
Yeah.
But not all talents are musical. We've been talking about the music side of things because that's what we do in the church. I sing, you play.
Right.
And like I said, this dude can play fluently.
No.
Matter of fact, I'm going to do this for you. I'm actually going to show him a clip of you playing. So here's a clip of Chapman playing the drums. Just one little strum of it. And we're back. Okay. But like I said, it doesn't have to be just musical aspect of things. You could be a good counselor. I don't mean like a job, but you could be like a good person that people just love to talk to and just.
What's that lady's name? She came and preached our women's conference here.
I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Courtney Paul could tell you who it is. I forget her name. She's from POA, or she does like counseling at POA. What is her name, dude?
Andy probably could tell the name too. But
probably. I want to say Nona Freeman, but I don't think that's who it is.
I don't think it's Nona Freeman, but
that's gonna bother me. Anyway,
you'll probably think of it later.
I'll like on the way, or as soon as we walk out of the door.
You'll be like, I know who it is.
Yeah. But she's a counselor for like POA.
Like in the church, like if anyone wants to come, like talk.
Well, not even just in the church. She's just kind of based out of POA, so like her office and everything is in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's a really cool thing.
Is her office in the church?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Like in the building. So like if you wanted to go talk to her, you just walk up in there. It's like,
right.
Hey.
And then you're in a church setting, you know.
Yeah.
And
like,
anybody,
so
I'm pretty sure anybody can like come in.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's scary because you know anybody can come in, but at the same time, anybody can come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's open.
We can't really have that fear.
No, we can't because I mean, if we're in the will of God, then that's all that matters.
Right.
But like I said, you could be a good counselor, like the lady we can't remember. We can't
What's
name.
her name, dude?
But you could be a great counselor. Great with technology, and that is used in the church most definitely.
Absolutely. This man right here. You bragged on me, now I get to brag on you.
Okay.
Watching you just do your work, man, setting all this stuff up.
No, dude. But I mean, you. Whatever your talents may be, I mean, you could even be a great painter, and just like paint the house for the church.
Yeah.
Like paint the walls, and not even just that. You can paint various amount of things and raise money to sell those paintings for the church, stuff like that.
Dog, if you're just a friendly person,
yes,
like greeting at the door, dude, that's one of the most important ministries in the church to me. Like the first person you see, like that you got to realize like you're the representation of the church.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely, because like the person you see at that door is where you're like, okay, this is how the attitude of everybody is.
It's like if I keep going here, this is what I'm gonna act like.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And
Tommy Holbrook.
but I love that dude. He's like, get in,
get in here,
get in here. You know, great friendly person. You could be a person with great hospitality.
Oh
you
yeah.
know? Like for any kind of event we have here, they always provide the food, make sure everybody has eaten, make sure everybody's comfortable.
Sister Connie Walker.
Man. Andy had actually mentioned her.
Oh yeah.
In our podcast because she is so sweet.
She is.
The way she greets you, it makes you think we must have had a past together.
Right.
Or she must have babysat me because she'll walk up to me and she's like, I just love you so much.
And kiss you on the cheek. And give you a big hug.
I'm like
a good dude. She's everybody's grandma. It's
yes,
crazy.
And I'm
I
like, but no, dude, like she is so friendly. I need to have her on here.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, like anything, because God wants us to bless others with our talents, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be music. You may be a great speaker, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
Preacher.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. You're going to be a preacher. But
ministry school.
Anything that you can do, you can find a way to work it.
Absolutely.
If you're good at sports.
Dude,
Dude, if you're good at sports, you can have the youth come together and have like sports nights where they just play a particular sport.
Dude, not even that. Like,
because it's a great get together.
Think about the outreach, man. Like all the different teams you play, the team you play on. You know, like there's so many aspects.
You got to come at it with the right attitude, though.
Absolutely.
You don't need to, because I know when you play sports, that's the
competitive, man.
Very competitive, and you get very arrogant there.
Yeah.
But you know, it can be anything, dude. Like I'm just trying to think of stuff that we could just do, like, if you love to give.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a great giver, you know, God may put on your heart to buy something for somebody. Brother AJ Holloway, I thought I was done mentioning him on this podcast, but the dude really made an impact.
He is worth every mention, man.
Yes, but he talked about one time he was not sure. He was not sure if he needed to be an evangelist or something like that, and then this guy, he didn't say his name, bought him $3,000 worth of suits. I'm like,
Some lawsuits.
So if you don't know by now,
Yeah.
But that guy, God put on his heart to do that, and anything like it just matters on how we bless people with our talents.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with showcasing your talents, but just the main focus is what are you doing with them,
Right.
mainly. And I do have one more verse. 1 Peter 4:10, as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. And our main thing here in life, our main thing is to save the lost, to reach the lost. That's the main goal here. Nothing else matters. Yes, we can do all these things, but the main key in life is just to save the lost. Get people to meet Jesus. Like, have you even met Jesus? And that's why we have these talents to use. You have the music ministry, and I know you have more talents than just music.
I don't know.
You're pretty good. You're pretty good with throwing stuff together on that computer, on that MacBook right there too. But like,
that's a lot of time.
But like, for instance, I mean, I'm not saying I'm talented, but I have the access to technology, so that's why I chose to make this podcast. It's just so for anyone that doesn't get the opportunity to come to our church every day, or just wants to hear like a short word from someone, like a devotional type thing. That's the whole point, is using your talents to reach people that don't have access to it.
I want to say something real quick. So, if someone's watching this and they don't know necessarily what their talent is yet, everybody has one, and it's more, you're gonna find your talent and your passion. So this is something I wanted to say. God doesn't always just necessarily just zap you with a talent like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the times he instills a little passion in you with this talent, and then he sees how far you want to take it for him. And if you're using it for the right reason, I'm telling you, he can open up doors that will blow your mind.
And you will excel. You will get way better.
Oh, dude.
You will get way better. And, when I first heard you play drums, I keep bragging on you, but, like, you really have improved since the first time I heard you play drums. Because when I first heard you play drums, I'm like, this dude can play the drums. But that was, I don't know, 5 years ago?
Yeah, about,
5 or
like
6 years ago?
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago. And hearing you play now, I'm like, this dude... Is there a limit here? Like, is there a limit where this dude can get better? But if you're in sync with God, there's no limit. There's no limit to anything.
For sure.
And as long as you're keeping God at the forefront of your walk, that's ultimately what matters. God comes first, family second, and then whatever else after that. Your education, anything else.
Your talents may grow with your platforms. With your various platforms, but your spirituality shouldn't.
Yeah.
Your spirituality, that's on you. That your spirituality, just because you're on a platform, doesn't mean that you're the most spiritual person in the room.
No, you're not above anybody.
No, absolutely not.
No.
And that's
God's
just
no
something.
respecter of persons.
Oh, absolutely not.
So just because you may
he
be
gave
like
you the talent, why do you think he's gonna respect that? You know what I mean? Like, he can zap that from you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, he did it for me.
And he's done it. He's scared the mess out of me one night.
But that's the thing. We have to take our talents seriously and just understand. I've already said this 1,000 times, but just understand that the main point of having our talents is to reach people.
Right.
And like I said, it doesn't have to be just musical. It doesn't have to be technological. It doesn't have to be being able to speak. There's people in this church that will just do miscellaneous things around here that get way overlooked. And I don't know the people who do everything, but those people are essential.
Servants, man.
Yes, they're servants of God.
Servants.
I'll mention Hunter on here. I'm pretty sure you don't mind. Hunter Beach. He actually sets up the
Hunter is the mastermind behind
dude,
everything.
He really is, like, on the setup. Like,
Yeah.
Because Brother Brandon told me Hunter takes a load off of him for getting ready. Whenever he has to preach, all he wants to worry about is what he's going to preach. That's what he needs to be focused on.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
That's how he needs to be focused. And having Hunter set the gym up for the youth get-togethers takes a load off of Brandon, and it's very important, because if we didn't have Hunter doing that, who would do that? It'd be a massacre.
Yeah.
He knows what needs to be done. He's done it all his life. I mean, his dad does the sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
He gets the stuff ready for the cantata, and him and his wife, and they get the stuff ready in there. And all we do is just walk up in here, and I sing and you play it.
Right.
And that's it. The people that work the sound, they have to get there earlier than we do and set stuff up.
Media.
And the media, everything. Because if we, for sure, for us when we're singing,
dude.
sometimes I can't remember the words.
I'll get
having
lost.
a guy
Yeah.
for the media, having the words up there, that's very helpful. And yeah, I can't remember the word for every song, but having that up there, that's very helpful. Putting the verses up there during service is very helpful. Anything else, people that take up the offering, you got to take up the offering somehow.
Yeah.
People that video and record the services.
Dude, that I appreciate Brother Paul
Mhm.
and Sister Pam.
They do that all at every service.
Dude.
You think that'd get very monotonous, and it might, but they're doing it.
That's their ministry, man.
That's
important
yes.
too, because they're in a way they're one of the reasons that we can share the gospel through that way.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And also, I need to mention this. I feel like, and we can kind of close here, but I would like to mention this. You don't have to be just sucked to one ministry. You can do more than one. So, like for instance, I'm not knocking anybody. This is just a theoretical thought here to bring. You might be the person that comes up and turns all the lights on for the church, but that shouldn't be your only thing you do.
Right.
Yes, that's.
It could be.
It could be.
But if an opportunity opens for you to do something else,
yes,
why not?
Yes, it can be, but you shouldn't be consent.
Right.
You shouldn't be what is the word? Complacent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be satisfied for where you're at. You need to always be digging. God, what more can I do for you? What more can I do?
He'll answer you.
He will. And you may not want that answer.
He'll blow your mind.
Yes, be like,
yeah.
And to be honest, there's been plenty of times where I'm like, God, use me in this way, whatever you want to use for me. And Brandon has asked me, you want to preach to the youth, and I'm like, okay, Lord, so that's what you want me to do. And you think you're not capable.
Oh,
but
you get up there and anointing takes over.
No, the Lord will take over.
Absolutely.
If you're in sync with Him. And like I said, if you take it seriously, then everything will work the rest of it out. You're just the vessel.
Absolutely.
You were just the vessel. And if you had something to close with, I don't know if you did or didn't.
Man, I think we pretty much covered everything twice.
We have hit this thing over the head very hard. And we've actually went 40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. It felt quicker than that. But
yeah,
it felt longer than that,
I thought we've been going for 15 minutes, to be honest with you.
Really? Yeah. Time flies and you're having fun.
It does.
But no, I think we can end it there. But dude, Chapman, thank you for being part of this, bro.
I appreciate
it was
the opportunity.
Awesome. It was awesome. You think a certain topic, you wouldn't be able to talk about it very long, but you'd be very surprised with what you can bring up.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing we were talking about. I mean, it's a very black and white thing. You
Yeah,
you either use your talents for the kingdom or you don't.
Yeah,
but
there's
so
more things.
many.
There's always something more.
Oh yeah.
Our the youth is called the deep.
Yeah.
You got to dig deep.
You got to dig, man. You got to launch out.
Launch and dig deep and launch out. But I believe we can end it there, bro. But thanks for everybody for watching and listening. Eventually there will be some. Quick announcement. Eventually there will be some merch available for Devote 101. I do have some shirts in the works and stuff like that, but don't worry, I will announce it. If anyone ever wants to have merch, I'm not doing this for profit. I'm just doing this so if you want to promote the podcast in any way, just so people can hear about it. This is like I said, I'm not doing this to make a profit. I'm not doing this to make a career out of it. I'm doing this so people can hear what our testimonies, our personal thoughts on things, particular topics, and so just be on the lookout for the merchandise. It's coming out pretty soon, but all in all, thank you all for listening and watching, taking the time out of your day, and always be ready.